Hello, good day, viewers. I welcome you once again to my space. I'm Samuel. Today we are to look at uh, the group policy. That is 3.5. We need to prove our group policy. And without wasting much time, we should quickly consider these steps to ensure that we meet all these steps. Okay, so this is basically build up on the previous assignment. Okay, so the first step has to do with the creation of a central store, and I think we've had that we've had that already. So we'll still go there to confirm that. But let's look at the second step. Say a group create a group policy titled verse 11 password policy and implement the following policies. So uh, with this from the screen, we only have to move to the GPO creation, that is the group policy management. And sorry, I think I did that earlier. Okay, so that is the screen. Let me minimize this. Okay. Yeah, so you can see we've boldly created a Windows 11 password policy. Okay, so to do this, you usually have to um, usually have the screen in this form. So you have to expand the forest, the domain, uh, and then finally you create it. You can either right click from this tab. Sorry, yes. So you can come straight to the group policy object. You right click, you go to new, and then you put in the name. In our case, Windows 11. Windows 11 password policy, okay, which we have done that. So let's quickly go there and then edit. We have to edit, click edit to get the computer configuration. So from computer configuration, you come to the policy and then Windows settings. You go to Windows settings and then, but before that, let's look at this. Let me minimize this. This administrative template used to be from the local computer. It usually tells you that this thing is too slow. Okay, so it's up. Okay, so usually you it tells you that policy definition retrieved from local computer. Okay, for in our case, we've been able and we have successfully created a central store. So that is why you're seeing this. Okay, so let's move back to the assignment two. So minimum password length of 13 characters. So from the computer configuration, you come to policies, and then we go to security settings. We expand that, and then we have our account policy, local policies. I think security options here. So you can see that, but let's look at the account policies where we have our password policy to look at. Okay, so going back to the requirement, we had to make the minimum password length of 13 characters, maximum password age of 91 days, minimum password age of 0 days. Okay, so which we've done here, maximum password age 91 days, minimum password age is 0, maximum minimum password length is 13. So basically, if you want to modify this, you just right click, go to properties, and then you have the opportunity to make changes here. Okay, you highlight the box to define the policy settings, and then you put in your figures. Okay, so the same thing happens here. You can equally double click and or double tap, and you still have the same screen. So in our case, 91 for the maximum password age. So that is fine. And then it's moved on. Says disable store password using reversible encryption. So store password using reversible encryption, yes, is disabled. So we double tap, we highlight the box, and then we choose disable. Okay. All right. So you can see basically we've been able to, I mean, run through almost everything that we're required to do. Account lockout threshold is 5. Account lockout threshold is 5. So we can have it here. So we come to account lockout policy. Do we have it here? So this is account lockout threshold, which we input 5. Then lastly has to do with what's that? Reset account lockout counter after 10 minutes. So you can see that we have that also. Yes, so that is a good uh, job so far. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so number 3 says that how can group policy be used to enforce password complexity requirements for user accounts in an Active Directory environment? Okay, so I think this question we've tackled it. So you can see that from the same GPO, we can enable password complexity. So uh, we can allow administrative account lockout. So is it? Yes, so password complexity. Password must meet complexity requirement. Okay, so we can enable this to ensure that passwords includes a mix of upper case letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and some special characters. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So that answers question number 3. So number 4, edit the default domain controller policy and configure audit policy for the following. So we have the audit login failure, audit account lockout, audit registry. All right. So let me go ahead and then close this for yes. So we do same for the default domain policy. We go to the edit, you click it, and then it gets you this. Okay, for the sake of time. So okay, let me just do that for All right, so you go to the edit column, and here we are. Let me maximize this. So you can see um, we have the computer configuration. Under it, we have the policies and then the preferences. So we go for the policies, Windows settings, and then security settings. So this is where the issue is. We have the local policies here, audit policy, but this is not what we are looking for. So we come to the advanced. Okay, yeah, advanced. We come to the audit policies. So now we are at the this is the log on log off policies. So let's relook at what is expected of us. It says audit login failure. So you can see login, audit logon. Um, we are interested in the failure, so we highlighted just that. Okay, and then the log off. Let me see what we have there. Okay, so audit accounts lockouts. Account lockouts, meaning we should be interested in the success and failures, okay, of the account lockout. Then lastly, it also talked of audit registries success. So we are looking at the success aspect, which is not here. So I think should be at the object access. So yes, audit registry, which we had the success there. Okay, so lastly, how can auditing be implemented and configured in group policy to track and monitor changes to system configurations, which is activities within the Active Directory environment? Yeah, it's a nice question. So that is what we just did. Usually, you need to access the advanced audit policy configuration. You use the um, yes, you use the advanced audit policy configuration to track changes. Okay, enabling auditing for specific objects or folders. Okay, so like I already mentioned, we usually do this by by right clicking on the very subject or object where I want to effect changes, and then we click on properties to make the changes. Okay, after that, after the properties, we just highlight the box to configure the changes, and then we go for whether success or the failure that we wanted. Okay, so this is done under the advanced settings. We can also so I think that solves the problem. Yeah. So yes, so that's all. We've exhausted everything. Viewers, thank you once again for your time. See you.